Hello everyone, I'm Hugo.
And I'm Jake.
And
I hate this. And I hate this. I hate it. I hate it.
Happy Valentine's Week, everyone. Today we're looking at...
it's not happy. It's not... Did you hear me not say that I hate it?
I know, which is why I love it. So today we're looking at a special film done by our friends over at PureFlix, and this movie is called Old Fashioned. It came out in 2014 and was branded as sort of the Christian alternative to 50 Shades of Grey.
I'm sorry, wait.
Yeah, that happened.
I just watched this. I didn't know that was a tag thing that they... I just watched this. They called that the Christian 50 Shades of Grey.
Well, the idea is, there's this smutty smut out there. We're going to do an old-fashioned Christian love story, and this is what we got, so...
No, this is more offensive than smut.
They got one thing right, though. The relationship is just about as abusive as the one in 50 Shades of Grey. So, without further ado, let's jump right into PureFlix's Old Fashioned.
I'd like to start this review by letting everyone know that the IMDb and many other sources said that this was going to be an hour and 15 minutes long. So we were like, this won't be so bad. Turns out the movie is actually 2 hours long.
Yeah, what the fuck, IMDb? I trusted you.
45 extra fucking minutes of this. And you feel every minute of it.
For those of you playing the TBR Bad Christian Film Home Game Bingo TM, make sure you mark off your free space, aka the film starting with a quote like every other fucking PureFlix film for some reason.
I can't believe it, but the person responsible for writing this gave their main character the one name nobody respects.
So we open on Clay restoring an old chair in the wood shop of his antique store because rugged individualism, craftsmanship, overpriced uncomfortable furniture, and all the other things your uncle looks for in a film before renting this from the local Walmart Redbox. Next, we're introduced to Amber, played by Elizabeth Roberts, or, as it's put on her IMDb page, it's Elizabeth Roberts playing Amber as Elizabeth Roberts. Is this like a Tropic Thunder situation, or did they really manage to fuck up the top billed person on the IMDb page?
If I smash you over the face with her personality immediately, does it make the film engaging? Are you engaged? Do you feel engaged now?
Amber is looking for a new place to live, and, luckily for her, Clay has a place to rent right above his store for her and her travel companion.
What do you think, Mr. Joe? Home?
The cat actually isn't listed on IMDb at all. I don't blame him. Even a SAG card isn't worth putting this in your resume.
When Amber shows up in a new town, she decides to fuck with the belongings of a local antique shop owner. This is in no way overbearing, rude, or annoying.
So Clay shows her the apartment, but despite her protests, he refuses to come into the apartment with her.
Seriously? What's your deal, stress boy?
Please don't take it personally. It's just, I made a promise. To never be alone with any woman that's not my wife.
Oh, that's sweet.
By sweet, do you mean completely fucking insane? Because that's the only possible version of what you just said that makes you also not nuts. You won't be in a room alone with a woman who isn't your wife? What if you go to get a checkup and the doctor is a woman?
No. This is a PureFlix movie. The women only do they work in flower shops and stuff.
Oh yeah, only people can be doctors.
You the jealous type?
Oh, I'm not married.
Engaged?
No.
Living together? Dating?
No, I don't date. I have a theory about that.
Wait. Are you telling me that this guy's never touched a boob before? You know it's bad when this and that are getting more vag time than Clay.
So who'd you make this promise to? Old-fashioned, huh?
Yeah.
Not dating isn't old-fashioned. Do you honestly think your grandparents weren't finger-banging in their cars, thinking of 10-cent burgers and cherry cokes back in the day? And don't think for a second Granny wasn't thinking about Paul Newman, because we both know she was.
Clay is a nice guy. You know this because he is seen helping a friend pack up his belongings before a big move. I think Clay kills people.
That night, Clay goes out with his friends Brad and David. Brad's a shock jock radio show host who just got picked up nationally and they're out celebrating. Clay is clearly made uncomfortable by Brad's constant lewd remarks and sexual conquests. However, this of course is a Pureflix film, so his lewd remarks boil down to things like...
Remember that summer in Myrtle Beach with the redheaded cheerleader and her... Ah, come on, that is my favorite story. Will you please just... Please, Daddy?
Whoa there, Brad. Mentioning the color of her hair? I can only get so erect.
You know, it's nice to see a group of friends with a single black guy that totally isn't a token in a Christian movie again. This movie is just so darn woke, fam. As long as they don't cross the line into interracial couples, we're on the way. And just in case you didn't get the exposition from the last scene, you could the friend is on the radio for all to hear.
Abracadabra. Lines are open. Give Lucky Chucky a call. You know the number, you lemmings. Pick up the phone.
Interracial!
I know what you guys are thinking, though. It's been 10 minutes. Where are my gratuitous shots of woodworking? Oh yeah, that'll keep the 56-year-old husband's attention. Might even get some of that sweet third Friday of the month strange from his wife. Later, Amber calls up Brad's show to tell him how disgusting and sexist he is. That goes about as well as you'd expect.
You're disgusting.
Mom? Is that you? Women are just like men.
Everyone wants it both ways.
Women the same as men? Well, I never. Clay's inventory guy comes over and notices the new tenant.
You've been holding out on me. Where you been?
George.
What?
All my life, where have you been?
Down, boy.
Because if women like anything, it's being hit on by old gross men yelling at them from the street.
Just moved in.
Lucky you.
Not my type.
How do you know? So help me, man. I worry about you.
Never trust a man that doesn't want to fuck every single human woman on planet Earth. Even traps, which count because they look like ladies and they save me money on strap-ons. I'm sorry, is that a fucking rotary phone? Now, I know the apartment is on top of an antique store, but that poor woman doesn't deserve this, Clay. Can she even catch up on HBO's hit TV series Girls on HBO Now app on that phone? How will she ever get her fill of Lena Dunham, who definitely isn't incredibly annoying on a cellular level?
Sometime later, Amber's stove breaks down, so naturally she calls Clay to have it fixed. But...
You're kidding.
he makes her wait outside. This whole won't be in the same room as a woman thing isn't virtuous. It's fucking strange. It makes me think you're some kind of rape addict that couldn't quit cold turkey like 6 months ago, and now you're real close to falling off the wagon, but your sponsor is Bill Cosby, and he's no help because he never answers his fucking phone.
Your theory. Spill it. I want to know.
You don't want to.
Make me ask you again, and I'm coming in there theory or no theory.
Open that door, I raise your rent.
He's aware screen doors aren't rape-proof, right? I feel like he's kind of using a loophole on this one.
I don't believe that dating trains us to be good husbands and wives. You know, life partners. It just trains us to be good dates, that's it. Trains us to be skilled in the superficial.
Who talks like that?
Is this the part right before he kidnaps her, locks her in the basement until Agent Starling works through her childhood trauma enough to solve the case? Because I'm getting that kind of vibe.
What about sex?
What about it?
That takes practice too.
I was born with these skills. I have literally made every single woman get off every single time.
Jake, getting off doesn't mean making them get off of you. I think we've talked about this.
Yes, it does. They love when I just go in and out and I scream at the top of my lungs.
How long have you had this theory?
9 years.
Yikes. That's not normal.
Oh, no comment. She's just right.
But a lot of the boundaries that used to be common that we've thrown away are there to protect us. We don't have to go around using each other, hurting each other.
Sometimes being used is fun. Right, Hugo?
You know I still can't poop right?
Me gusta.
Hello. I'm here to pick up that little rocking chair. You fixed it. Good as new. Thank you. Thank you so much. You have no idea.
Is he gonna fuck that chair, or...?
So Clay goes to visit his aunt because he's a nice guy.
This is the day the Lord has made.
I'll rejoice and be glad in it.
These two people greet each other like they're at a goat burning festival in a secret society. And happy goatsy to you, Hugo.
May your teats be ample with milk.
And may your scrotum bear children. Goatsy!
Finally, I thought the old bag would never kick off.
Man, this is good acting. Take notes, Daniel Day-Lewis. Clay's coming for your job, the last Mohican. So if you ever watched our show before, you know that a common theme in Christian films is a character with a checkered past who gains redemption. The best example of this is Kevin Sorbo in God's Not Dead, who gets hit by a car and accepts Jesus while he dies. This movie is kind of similar, but Kevin Sorbo is Clay and the murder car is porn. I'm not kidding. Oh yeah. Porn DVDs. Porn in a physical format. In 2014.
So of course they can't just talk at the apartment because of his rules, so the screenwriter had them conveniently run into each other at the supermarket.
Hey there, stress boy.
Hey there, pretty girl.
Ugh. You know what? Never mind. Go back to being creepy no girls allowed guy. That was better.
Okay. Most people know more about someone after a job interview for delivering pizzas than they do after most dates. So where do you get this stuff from?
I'm convinced the writer of this movie has legitimately never been on a date or even knows how they work. Hold on. Who wrote this? Oh, that explains a lot. So Clay and Amber walk around the store, talking about themselves, learning about each other, messing around, having fun. You know, like a date. Now I know what you're thinking. Oh, this movie is about Clay discovering dating is nothing more than two people getting to know each other, seeing if they're compatible, and realizing his weird rules are backwards and outdated. No, not really. So Clay and Amber spend more time together at a birthday party. Clay better be careful, though. They might be in public, but there isn't even a screen door between the two of them.
Clay.
David.
Yes, the ideal honeymoon. What you got in mind?
You know what makes ladies wet as fuck, Hugo?
I refuse to participate in this joke setup. Fuck you.
No, Hugo. Not the hurtful comments I bury deep inside. What makes women wet is talking about your honeymoon before you've even touched.
Later, Amber is discussing the not a date with her girlfriends.
It was a birthday party. Lots of people were invited. He didn't even invite me himself.
My theory is he's gay. He owns an antique shop. Hello?
You know, the gays with their sodomy and antiques.
On his quest for love, the person named Clay decides to probe into the life of the antique dealer he buys from. He asks the man, "How did you know that your wife was the one?" And his answer sent chills down my spine, because this is our story, Hugo.
Sophomore year, she asked me to a Sadie Hawkins Day dance. I don't want to go, but I don't want to hurt her feelings either, so I said yes. After the dance, she decides to kiss me. Now I got to date her for almost a month because I felt guilty about kissing her. And I didn't want to make her feel cheap either. So then there's her birthday, and Valentine's, then senior prom, graduation.
So yeah, I guess this guy's only married because of a Sadie Hawkins dance in middle school. So to sum up, don't go on dates, otherwise she'll somehow trap you in a 25-year marriage you don't want. Except the alternative would be arranged marriages. Or maybe some sort of portable screen door technology.
So, because she's a fucking creep, Amber decides to plug her sink drain on purpose in order to get the attention of the human known as Clay. Dude, just text him a winky face and stalk him on Facebook like normal people.
While he's fixing the sink, he explains he used to be a very different person before he found Jesus. But more importantly, she's now standing in the doorway with the screen door open, which is his version of second base. Naturally, Amber starts sabotaging her own appliances as pretense to get Clay to come over so they can talk, because that's much simpler than doing the same thing, but at a goddamn Starbucks or something.
Love is the only gold.
Tennyson, Alfred Lord Tennyson, 1809 to 1892. The first time I read that, I was at a high school football game.
Wait, did they accidentally put the wrong shot in there? She's talking, but her mouth isn't moving, and it doesn't seem to be indicating passage of time. It's like they did ADR, but forgot to put in a reverse shot over the old edit. That's fucking amazing.
Well, we're only a third of the way through the film, so we discover why Amber's been wearing a cast on her hand the whole time. Apparently, her ex-boyfriend broke her hand because she wore nail polish. That's like advanced level abuse. Her ex didn't play that "my dinner's cold" or "you looked at another man" bullshit. Oh no, he went for the innocuous reasons. That way, it's like a little surprise party whenever they get smacked.
Amber finally has the gall to destroy the most sacred of all God's creatures, the humble screen door, just to get Clay to come up again.
Okay, I get that he's not supposed to be alone in a room with a woman, but being 2 inches away on opposite sides of a doorway is not a fucking loophole. This is the equivalent of soaking or just butt fucking so that you're still a virgin. You're not a virgin anymore, Ashley. Your butthole has jizz in it.
But she finally wears him down, and of course, he takes her on a totally normal, not at all insane, run for the hills date.
So, first, let me simply affirm your prudent decision to take solemnly the idea of holy matrimony.
Yeah. He takes her to a pastor so they can undergo pre-marriage counseling. No words.
If you don't find that creepy as fuck, you too may be a serial killer. Other signs include masturbating to pictures of dead animals and tucking your dick behind your legs and dancing to 80s music.
They get a book from the pastor meant for recently engaged couples so they can get to know each other better.
Do you have any pet peeves?
Check out these colors.
Do you have any pet peeves?
The man who complained dating is like a job interview is literally asking her questions pre-written formally like a job interview. Have you considered the problem isn't dating, it's that you don't know what a date is? Well, at least the date can't get any worse.
How many children would you like to have?
1 or 2.
I was hoping for 2 or 3. That's a yellow.
It's actually super convenient that happened, or else that setup would have gone nowhere. Of course, the next reasonable place to take this is to have her go over to the friend's house so he can watch her take care of their child. This movie made $2 million, by the way.
What am I watching? And why doesn't he have to feed the fucking kid? Like, why? Is the antique game just too stressful to feed children? I don't...
After creepy child-rearing practice, the kid's mom tells Amber all about how Clay used to be the other half of the duo with the shock jock guy, but then he became a Christian and quit, giving away all his money and started the furniture store. Now, I want you to remember how wistful this lady is about his previous projects, because, like Jake said, those projects are porn.
Aren't you going to ask me any more questions?
Nothing good happens after 11.
Ooh, staying out till 11. Next thing you know, they'll be watching PG movies and drinking whole milk, even though they're lactose intolerant.
So for some reason they start talking about Sleepless in Seattle. Not making that up.
Bill Pullman. Nice guy. Kind, reliable. But just because he happens to itch and get puffy red eyes and sneeze all over the place, it's okay for Meg Ryan to run off with Tom Hanks.
Yeah, who gives a shit if Meg Ryan had no chemistry with the guy? I mean, he was nice, so he's entitled to the Meg Ryan vagina. Which is just as annoying and talentless as you'd assume Meg Ryan's vagina would be.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jake. Did you not like the end of City of Angels where she fucking dies like an idiot?
God, that's a bad joke that I cannot say. I was gonna say... I don't know what that movie's called, though. Hey, guys. You want to know how to make a woman dry up so fast she gets barren?
The checklist? Respect her emotions as well as her body.
Nailed it. No chance that thing's making babies.
If you need a checklist to remind yourself that the person you're dating is a human being with boundaries, maybe dating isn't your sport.
How is it possible that you're not already married?
You know what? Fuck it. These psychos are made for each other. I don't even care anymore. Next, he invites her over to his place for dinner. Naturally, he brings his elderly aunt to chaperone because, to reiterate, this is an adult man who can't be alone with someone because they have interlocking genitals. He's really lucky he isn't bisexual, or life would get real complicated. I mean, or even just gay. I mean, you'd have to be alone with other men sometimes. Men are people. Next, she finds a picture of his ex-girlfriend, and he explains why they broke up.
I know. She wanted to wait. And I didn't. So I hooked up with one of her good friends.
Wait, are you telling me the creepy asshole guy with unhealthy attitudes about relationships used to be a creepy asshole guy with other unhealthy attitudes towards relationships? I am shocked.
I mean, sometimes I wish I never opened it at all.
Why?
Because when I read it for myself, I couldn't make fun of it anymore.
That's weird. It has the exact opposite effect on us. And just when I thought this movie was going to make me end my life, this old lady comes in and saves me by saying what we were all thinking.
Good Lord, you two, both of you, take me home already. This is getting painful.
Then he takes her to church.
Every color and every size, some are silly and some are wise.
So, children suck at singing. I hope each and every one of them gets beaten tonight.
When he held my hand in that church, it felt like home.
I don't think I can take any more of this. This one's gonna do me in, guys. You thought I'd be Sorbo, but this is the one.
Okay, here's the major issue with the movie. It confuses treating women with respect with putting women on this protective pedestal way above and separate from men. To this movie, treating women with respect isn't about respecting them as fellow human beings. It's about respecting them as potential mates and mothers. The core concept of the movie starts from he won't be in the same room alone with a woman because in the writer's head, there is no conceivable reason to be in a room with a woman if she isn't taking care of your child or ready to be inseminated right now. That's not just disrespect, it's guttural basic misunderstanding that someone else is a fucking person.
Hugo, if you were writing a screenplay, what plot device would you use to further inform the main character?
Really? We're doing the whole... You ask me a rhetorical question that we both know is just a setup for a joke thing? You're not sick of this yet? You're fucking pathetic.
Bury it inside, Jake. No, Hugo. The correct answer is have him fight a stripper. And her pimp.
Hey, do you have any idea how much she cost her in tips tonight? Don't you think you ought to do something about that? Huh? Huh? What?
Hey!
Get off,
Hey!
man.
You think you're better than me?
I'm Clay, and I know better than this adult woman what she should be doing with her life. In his head, he's singing because he's fucking crazy.
The stripper made Clay very angry. Fun fact, the original screenplay had Clay punch dancing to blow off some steam. But Kevin Bacon already did that in Footloose, so they changed it to Angry Basketball.
On their next date, Clay and Amber dance to a shitty Christian pop song. This is the Pureflix version of Third Base.
Now, Clay and Amber go outdoors on a date, which they're alone. Just because you're outside and there's no screen door doesn't mean you're not alone.
How many sexual partners have you had in the past 10 years?
This is almost a normal date.
Oh, a normal date. You mean where two strangers hop into bed and then try to figure out later whether or not they have anything in common?
What does this guy think dates are? Does this guy just spend half his time on 4chan posting dank memes about slut Stacy's who only fuck Chads because he's too nice for them? The other half of the time he's appreciating trap threads and looking for the most feminine wieners.
Yeah, literally no date I've been on has started with sex. Are you confusing dates with purchasing a sex worker? Because I'm pretty sure that's what happens when you purchase a sex worker. Here's a still shot of a man that won't give the attractive lady a sweet dicking, even though she asked. Like it or not, human beings have sex. Lots of it. There's about 7.4 billion people on Earth, and almost all of them will fuck something or somebody somewhere at some time. And it's okay. Also, it's usually pretty awesome. So, go out there and fuck people. Eat ass and finger blast your way across this beautiful planet of ours, baby birds.
We're in the home stretch of the movie, and seeing as though this is ostensibly a romantic comedy, we need a conflict to split the couple up in time to get back together during the climax. Amber finds the show Clay and the shock jock used to work on, and like we said before, it's basically a Girls Gone Wild ripoff. And I just like to remind you how fucking wistful and nostalgic that lady was while holding her child about this. Just, that lady likes her fucking porn. Jesus Christ. Despondent at this new revelation, Amber goes out to get hammered and laid. But uh-oh, shock jock asshole is there, dick at the ready. Luckily, Clay somehow knows this despite there being no confrontation scene or anything to let him know she's out doing this, so he goes all around town in the dead of night looking for her. You know, like a crazy person.
Hugo, you don't understand. He's a Christian man. And she's been alone with him before. Now he owns her. He peed on her a little bit, like a gray wolf.
Yeah, I get it. Clay gives up after searching for a while and goes home to find his ex-girlfriend there, wanting to reconcile. Meanwhile, Amber is just outside Shock Jock Guy's hotel room. Will it happen? Will Clay abandon Amber? Will Amber get the good dick? Do you care? No. Nope, Clay just slept in his car because, as we all know, if a penis and vagina are left alone overnight in the same house, they can't not fuck. Also, Amber did not, in fact, get the good dick, which is surprising. There was no screen door, so I don't know how she didn't fuck him. So now they're, like, broken up, I think. I don't know. It's not very clear. They have a brief kind of argument. It isn't terribly clear, but we see them alone doing shit. Just, like, 10 minutes of shit, them doing nothing. So, you've seen romantic comedies. You get it. So in a surprising show of introspection on the part of the writer, Clay's aunt tells him stop being such a self-righteous cunt, which honestly, if more Pureflix movies had that message, the world would probably be a better place.
So our story's about to end, but no true love story is really complete until we force-feed the audience some driving Miss Daisy stuff and false romance. And of course, the montage.
So finally the car drops her off at the supermarket they ran into each other at, where Clay has set up a band and flowers, not to mention the worst fucking death trap of a fire hazard I have ever seen. So of course he proposes and she says yes, in the baby food aisle. I know this because they make a point of mentioning this, and he says,
The baby food aisle.
Little on the nose.
Because remember, none of this was about romance, it was just about finding someone to accept his seed.
And then this stuff happens. And then the credits. They built this entire story up for 2 fucking hours, and the only wedding we actually saw in the movie was somebody else's. This is the biggest fucking waste of time ever. officially the worst Christian film we've ever seen, and that includes everything the Cristianos have done.
Wow, really? You think this is
Ever.
the worst one we've seen?
You're welcome, Dave.
Honestly, I have a different opinion on this movie, and let me explain why. In researching this movie, I found the guy who's the main star, Rick Swartzwelder. He not only starred and wrote, he directed and produced. This is an auteur piece, whether you like it or not. It's fucking insanity. And the funny thing is, he's only done a couple things other than this. All of it short films, probably student films or something of the like. But just the fact that this product is exactly what he wanted it to be, and it's a look inside this insane person's head with such a weird view of dating and women and relationships and children. It's just so weird. I honestly kind of recommend it. It's not like God's Not Dead good, but if you and some friends want to get together and be like, holy shit, this guy is insane, it's not the worst movie. I was a little entertained at parts, to be totally honest. So I'd recommend it.
I cannot remember what happened in the middle. We just went through it. We just went through it. Can't fucking remember because there's nothing. It's just like is it courting even? It's more like he's basically just like, I'm gonna put my seed in you, and you basically have to endure this until it happens.
It's the weird thing is too, the movie presents itself as if, like, you know, the aesthetics. He owns an antique place. There's an old phonograph. The intro cards look very silent filmy, so they're kind of presenting this as if it's an old-fashioned style Hollywood romance, which is so not what this is. Like, you can watch old Hollywood films and, there's romance, there's dating, there's kissing, it's romance. This movie isn't about romance in the 20s through the 40s. This is like about courtship, like before weddings and marriage were about romance, like when it was a convenient business transaction about having children. It's very strange. This is your answer to 50 Shades of Grey? That movie's boring as fuck and the book is hilarious, but really this is your answer? Fuck it. I would rather read about Christian Grey pulling out Anastasia Steele's tampon and fucking her in the bathroom 50 times over before I'd watch this movie again, which is very contradictory to what I just said about watching it, but it's just that kind of movie. Watch it once, never watch it again. Okay?
The whole idea of like a relationship is something you do to a person is so weird, man.
Yeah.
It's so this is cringy. And a lot of people overuse that. We probably have overused that. It's genuinely cringe, and it's not even the good kind, like where a person's making an ass of themselves. Like that one guy with the tiger that was super gay that ran for president. That was like fun cringe. This doesn't have any of that personality. This is just... She's just a vessel. Anyways.
Yeah, so I hope you all had a wonderful Valentine's Day, even though this came out after Valentine's Day. Fuck it, have another Valentine's Day. Go get...
Double. Now we're gonna get the comments. Valentine's Day is just a corporate holiday and men's rights. You're just lonely.
Oh, God. Why you gotta provoke the comments every time?
Because they're all pussies.
Anyway, so I guess that's it. God, this took forever, too. This is I see why we've been doing 2 parts. Jesus Christ, these are exhausting. But there you go. You got your long video, people. You can always follow us on Twitter at Bible Reloaded.
You can follow Hugo at Hugo Reloaded, although he will be killing himself after this comes out, so he won't respond. You can also subscribe to the channel, even though the channel will be gone because Hugo killed himself. You did this.
You can also donate to our Patreon. We do a once-a-month patron-only hangout, which will be coming on
the next week.
Okay, the next week. We'll let you guys know probably in the next episode of whatever that we do. And I guess that's it. You can always subscribe at the Quran Reloaded. You could subscribe over at Unpop, where we do movie reviews and the whatnots and movie news.
We're coming up on movie season. I'm so excited for Unpop during movie season.
Yeah. And then more people can compare us to Red Letter Media's parody podcast because we're basic bitches. Anyway.
I've never even seen that.
Oh,
Love Red Letter Media though.
It's
anyways.
They do a thing where it's called the Nerd Crew, and it's basically making fun of every basic. They're making fun of this shit basically. Like, I'm a nerd, but I talk about movies, but in like a very, very, basic. I thought that was good. I loved all the references. Way.
Oh, I think we're a little more clinical than that, but
A
I
little,
think we
but
get along
I
with
get it.
Red Letter Media.
Anyway, go subscribe to Red Letter Media. Until next time, Hugo.
I'm Jake.
This has been the Bible Reloaded. Bye, guys. See you next time. Oh, recommend movies down there. We need more. Blow my nose real quick. I've been so goddamn congested the past week.
I have too.
I don't know why. I don't know if it's because it's warming up and I have allergies or what.
We should just do way more cocaine.
Yeah.
Just shut all that down.
Get that good drip going. That's a cocaine term, right? Anyway.
I don't know. Good drip?
I don't know. It's in Boogie Nights. Everything I know about cocaine I learned from Boogie Nights.
That explains so much.